today I am going to continue preparing for the craft fair this Saturday. I have made everything that I wanted to make. Everything's glazed, ready to go. I just need to work out how my display is gonna look like because I have a lot more products and I want to raise everything up to eye level since my stuff is really small. I find it hard to look at stuff when you have to like bend down and look at it. So I'm gonna try to raise everything. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I have some stuff. So that's what today is gonna be about, experimenting how it's gonna look like. But yeah, it's been kind of hard to film lately. The state of the country is freaking horrible and it's so terrifying and disappointing and sad and frustrating and all of those things. So I've had a really hard time filming. It's taken up a lot of my mind capacity and honestly I've been really stressed, very, very stressed. So I just took a little break from the filming and just made things and just kind of put everything to the side and just made things and watched the show and tried to not go crazy. I'm still, stressed about things and things are happening every day. So it's important to keep informed, but I'm trying to have a better balance because I was going crazy and it was not good for my health. I got sick. It wasn't great. So I'm trying, and I find that when outside forces take up my mind space, and not a lot is left for the business and stuff like that, I try to focus on shorter goals. So instead of, I have to post and grow my Instagram and grow my YouTube channel and all this stuff, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do some craft fairs for the moment. But I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you guys are doing as well as one can at this moment. And just know that I am right there with you. It's really hard to go on about the day, to work, to, go to the grocery store and do errands and, just day-to-day things with what's going on. It's a very weird time to live, to be alive right now. So I know, I get what you're going through. A lot of people are going through the same thing, but we're just trying to do our best and staying informed and fighting back the way you feel comfortable fighting back. And we'll see what happens. So much stuff. Where do I begin? Wallpaper. I didn't order Look at my sweatshirt. Isn't it the cutest thing you've ever seen? It has like stuff right here, a ribbon and a bow. It's so cute. I love it. I realized that I've made a lot of things, but I haven't actually shown you any of it. I've just been making things, but I will show you them now. So let's see, the first thing that I made that is different that I haven't made before are some trinket dishes. I made this monstera leaf one. Very cute. I made it, you know, concave like this, so when you put stuff on there, it doesn't fall. Like, for example, if you're putting on an earring, you know, you put it on there like this, and it won't fall off because it's dipped, you know. That's cool. And I made other trinket dishes as well, like a strawberry one. I really like this one. I really like the color. It's really nice. I also made it curved like this. And then I made a more flat one with a raised edge. And it's green and it has a little frog on it right here. There's a lot of brown frogs where I live. They come in all colors. They're brown, they're green, sometimes they're light brown, sometimes they're really dark green. I think it depends on the time of year or if they're mating or something, but they're so cute, especially the little brown ones. They're so tiny and so cute, so I had to make one in nod to frogs. I think I'm realizing that I like frogs. I think they are such a cute part of where I live, and they helped me integrate into nature, especially the nights. Listening to them sing at night made me feel not so claustrophobic in my house with like the darkness around, like in the windows. It's so dark you can't see out unless it's a super bright moon. But I think these frogs have helped me like ease into nature more and not get scared when they jump out of like my pots or like under bushes and stuff. And it's such a welcoming sight to see them. I just love them, so I had to make one. And I know they're green and whatever and have like colors, but I just really like the little brown ones. I also made a heart one. I was trying out different shapes to see what shape I liked. I also made this concave, and I tried out a little checkered pattern, which was really, I thought it was going to be hard, but it wasn't too hard. The back is green, and I like green. Obviously, as you can see, my walls are green. Yeah, also making art and making things like this and choosing colors for them. I never, people ask you like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? All these things. I never actually had an answer. I'm like, I don't know. Something, pink is nice. But as I'm getting older and I'm starting to notice what colors I gravitate towards in different things, like in clothes and furniture and accessories and things like water thingies or like accessory, like not accessories, but tools, I'm sorry, yeah, so I like green. And this, making art like this, I can see what colors I gravitate towards. Obviously, for example, this one, I tried a different shape. It's more of like a tin can shape, But obviously blues and purples I really like. As you can see, this is like a light blue. I think these colors just, they're just calming. They're calming. Really bright colors like bright yellow and bright orange. Yeah, or like really, really vibrant purples, I feel like are too stimulating for me. So as I make art, I can see the colors that I prefer because I choose them to paint things with. Although I do like a pop of like bright color here and there. So like this kind of red, like this is cool, you know. I like this kind of pop of red every now and then, you know. So those are my trinket dishes. I also made, this is my biggest clay piece I've ever made. It's a lot of clay, so it scares me. I don't know why it scares me to use a lot of clay and a lot of paint. Maybe because I don't want to run out and because I don't want to have to buy more and, you know, try to, you know, your business trying to balance profit and like business expenses and whatever. But I've been wanting to make something for my ofrenda for Day of the Dead. I do a little altar for like pets, my pets and my husband's pets that have passed away. And so I decided to do a little altar. And this altar is cool because it has a little hole in the back so you could hang it on the wall. And it's of a little black cat. See if you could see it without it reflecting. And it's my biggest piece I've ever made, and I'm very proud of it. I thought it was going to be harder to work bigger, but actually it's a lot easier because it's easier on my eyes. Working smaller, like for example, this keychain that is a juice box that I made. Doing like the details of like the straw and like the back that's supposed to be like, you know, like the label on the back of shows you where it's made and stuff like that. Doing stuff like this, I really like because it's cute, but it is straining on my eyes because I have to focus on small details. So working on something big like this was actually a nice break. It was easier to maneuver and handle because it's bigger, and then painting the small details like the flowers and the dots and like the eyes and, you know, this checkered pattern here was easier. And I made it with like a little inset like this, so you can use a electric tea light and put it in here. And look how cool that is. You could also put like little vases in here with flowers on it and stuff like that if you want. But yeah, isn't it cool? Very proud of this one. I also made charms. I've wanting to dabble into making charms for, you know, phones or bags or backpacks or, you know, keys, wherever you want to put charms. So I made some charms, and I made the last piece here at the bottom is clay, and then I just put these charms together like this. I really like making these. I realized that I like playing around with charms and like putting them together and seeing which ones fit well together and all that. I think that's really fun. I made a black one because I haven't made anything that's like black, you know? So that was fun, you know, with getting into like the Halloween fall season. I want to get into make more witchy things. That sounds fun. I see I made again a little pop of red. I did a strawberry one. Very cute. I did other ones, but I've sold some of those. So yeah, getting into keychains, that's cool. Oh, and then an orange one too. I'm also, like I said, I don't gravitate towards these colors like oranges and stuff like that, but I'm trying to explore and expand on my horizons and choose colors that I may not particularly gravitate towards, but other people might. And I made more keychains. You saw the apple juice box I showed earlier. I made an orange juice box. Yeah, these were hard, especially to make a like geometric shape with clay, is a little challenging because clay, it's soft, and as you're trying to make like corners and stuff, it like wants to be more rounded. But I also started adding charms to my keychains, to make it a little more fun, and I really like them. And I have other ideas of how to add charms to keychains, and even more ideas of how to make these charms that are not so long. I mean, I know there's long charms that people use for their phones, but sometimes for me it gets too long, and then when you have it in your backpack or something and you're walking around, especially like a tight corner or something, or you're in line to go check out at the grocery store and you're trying to get through the aisle, like you're walking around, you like swinging it and banging up against candy and stuff. So I have an idea of how to make it to where I could still use the charms, but not make it so long, just make it a little shorter. So I have an idea for those next time. And then I'm really proud of this one. I don't know why. I just really like this one. It's a little tomato and it has a little green charm. I really like this one. I mean, I know I said I like purples and greens and blues, but these pops of red also really attract me. So I've been not restricting, but I've been stopping myself from actually using this for myself and putting it on my backpack or my wallet or like on my keys and stuff. And I'm like, no, you made this to sell, not to use for yourself. But I mean, I could always make another one if I really wanted to. And then I made these little bunnies, which I like. I feel like a little bit different of what I usually make, that I've been making. But they're really cute. I really like them. And again, trying not to use them for myself. I put like a little rose charm that doesn't want to face forward. Yeah, very awesome. And I made another one, like a sister one to it, but it's yellow with like pastel pink and pastel blue and a little heart charm. These are really cute together. They're like sisters or siblings, Look at, oh, sorry. That's awesome. That's so cool. So I did those. And then I also made a bunch of magnets because I like making magnets because it's almost like illustrating in 3D because it's a flat surface. So I could paint things on there. And I know I've shown these cat ones before. These are older. I've had a video, I think I made a video on when I made these. And this is like the other one, the cowboy one. But I made this worm dude. He's a wizard worm. And he had to get 2 magnets because he's kind of big. So he needs 2 magnets to hold him up. And, as, being a child of the 90s, I had a Tamagotchi. I actually have one. I found it at Barnes and Nobles, of all places. But I made a Tamagotchi magnet. Really cool. And I try to use all like those, you know, these like 90s colors that I usually, again, don't really gravitate towards, like this bright green and bright blue, but they work really well with the Tamagotchi design. Let me show you Tamagotchi I have. I'm actually too scared to play the Tamagotchi because I remember back in the day was kind of traumatizing when your Tamagotchi died or was hungry or was sick or demanded your attention, but you're like, I have to do homework, you know? This is the one I got at Barnes and Noble. Really cool. I took out the battery so it won't turn on. But man, I remember when I got a Tamagotchi when I was little, I thought it was like magic. I thought it was so magical that there was like a little creature in here that needed me to take care of it. And it grew and it did things on its own. I don't know, I remember it was like, it was such a weird feeling to experience like technology as it was advancing, even though it's just like a little game like this. But I think the way that it's so small and it was handheld, I don't know, made it so tangible that it was almost, I felt like it was real. I don't know. Crazy tangent. Anyways, magnets. I made a little cookie magnet. I really love food. And I love bread, even though I can't really eat it because I'm sensitive to gluten. I still love it. And then I made a little moon magnet. Really cool, really magical. You can put it this way or this way. It works either way. And then a little star one to kind of like accompany it, you know, if you want to get both. It's cute. Put it like in your fridge or whatever. And I made some envelope little magnets so that you could put it on, you know, on like a to-do list or something and use this to put on there. I made like a couple of these in different colors. What else? Oh, I also, all of this I added to my website. So everything is there. Oh, I didn't show you these. I also made these simpler keychains, just like a star keychain, a blue star. And then I also did a yellow one. I'm like a pastel yellow. Yeah, all this is gonna be on my website. And I'm also putting some stuff in there that I made so long ago, but I thought for some reason was, I don't know, not good. But now that I've revisited it and looked at it with a fresh eye, I'm like, that's actually pretty good. One of them is this little frog with a knife. Yeah, I was just really like working or experimenting with the cute and like dangerous kind of themes, I guess. But I wanted to see if I could make something like 3D like this, and I made this frog. Oh, and for its spots, I colored it with like stars and stuff. I thought that's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm putting this one on there too. I don't know why I thought in the past I thought it wasn't maybe like good enough or something, but I think it's really cute and kind of scary, but funny, you know, because it has a little knife, but it's so small and it's so cute. And this is also an older one. This is like one of maybe the first magnets that I attempted to try and make, and I think it's really cute. It's a little like dachshund, is that what it's called? Those wiener dogs? Yeah, it's a little dog one. I think it's really cute. I also made some little vases. I don't know where the other ones went, but I made little vases like this that you could put like a little fake flower like this or a real flower, change it out and put it here. You could also probably even put stuff like this in the altar, you know? See, that's cool. With the, one moment, with the light, and have your own like mini altar, you know, ready to go. I think that's really cool. That looks awesome, by the way, actually. That looks pretty cool. Especially at night, it looks really nice because it's like warm yellow, so it like glows warm. So the craft fair went well. It was really hot. It was really freaking hot. We got to the area, like the craft fair, the parking lot, at around 8 a.m. and started to set up. It was 8 a.m. and I was sweating, drenched, and setting up the tent in that heat was something else. So I'm really excited and glad that it's starting to cool off, so that in like October's craft fair I hope it's gonna be at least cooler, maybe in the 80s. That would be amazing. But it went well. It was funny. We Leo and I, he was helping me set up, and it started at 10, the craft fair. But everyone was there like around 8, so maybe like I think around 9:30. There's already people walking around and looking, but sometimes in craft fairs, like the other people that are there, before it starts, go around and see what everyone else has, you know. And so this lady came up, and I thought she was a person that had a booth, a little area, a tent somewhere. But she actually bought something, and I was like, I hadn't set up my, the Square app, the card reader thing. I hadn't set that up, like I hadn't turned it on. Thankfully I had cash, and she had cash, so I just quickly did like a transaction and sold her something. But I was just not expecting it. I was like in setup mode. I was still finishing setting up products and prices, so that caught me off guard. But I was like, oh my goodness, like it's already starting, you know. So that was awesome. I sold around $70 worth of things, which doesn't sound like a lot. It probably isn't, but for me it is. It is, especially this is my second one I've ever done. I just think it's amazing that you can go to a craft fair, set up, and start selling things. I just think it is, I don't know, I just think that's really cool. People just come by and they just buy your stuff if they like it. I think the first craft fair I went to, my prices were a little higher, so I think I sold less things but made more money. And this craft fair, I lowered my prices a little bit because I've been changing the prices of my things, just trying to get a better feel of what is a reasonable amount to where I make profit from investing in it and investing in the clay and the paint and the tools. But also it's not something kind of outrageous that people that come to craft fairs will kind of be like, oh my God, that's a lot, you know? But it's hard. Like it really is hard. Running a business is really hard. Figuring out prices is really hard. But I'm adjusting a little bit here and there to try to finally find a sweet spot to where I see other artists at the craft fair selling not similar things, because I don't think there's anyone else in that craft fair that sells clay items like I do, like the style that I have. But there's a lot of people that sell crochet and like wooden things, like smaller things like me. And I'm trying to like compare their prices to mine and kind of adjust to where it makes sense. And so this time around, I think I sold a little bit more things, but since they were priced lower, it was $70. You know, I'm still getting hang of it. This is the second time I've done it, so I'm still gathering data to try to really get to a place where I think, yes, I'm good with these prices. I'm good with the quantity that I sell each time. And I think it also has to do with the time of year it is. When it's really freaking hot, like, I don't know. I wouldn't, I'm sure, and some people just don't want to be outside walking around in the heat. And I think as it starts cooling off and the days are nicer, there's going to be more people, more foot traffic. And obviously as the holidays are just around the corner, people are going to buy more for presents and stuff. Which reminds me, I need to get to making things. Like we just finished our a sabbatical this whole August. We had my husband and I took off, and so I need to start getting into making more things, especially for the Halloween and fall season. Last year I made a witchy set because I like witchy things. And so I made a witchy set with like a pumpkin and a spell book and some potion bottles. And I did a little photo shoot, and I set up all like a witchy theme in the woods with like moss and stuff like that. And so I want to do that again this year because I really love fall and I love Halloween and I love winter. So I want to make more things for the season. So I need to get doing that because it's already mid-September. Oh my gosh, you guys, time. What is time? Time goes by so quickly. In the craft fair, it was nice because it was held in a parking lot of a convenience store / gas station. So it was nice that we were able to go in and get snacks, water, cold juice, use the restroom. It was really nice. So that was good. Although, the only downside is that it was in a parking lot. So that concrete, like reflecting the heat into your tent is intense. But I bought like portable fans. So we just set them on our face the whole time and just like, because man, I was sweating. And then whenever I sweat, whenever I get hot, I get really, really red in my face. And I just look like a red face, and my whole body's like one color. My face is red, and so I feel like I look crazy. So I was trying to cool off my face as much as I could. And I know I did not wear makeup. No way. I was not even going to do that. It's already early. Like from my house to where the craft fair is, it's like 10 minutes away. It's really close. But you have to get there, even though it starts at 10, you have to get there at 8, and if you get there at 8, like you can sort of choose where you want to set up. And there are definitely, I have learned, there are definitely good spots and bad spots because of how the people flow through it. And I think honestly, maybe the setup of the booths could be set up a little differently, but I don't decide that. But there's definitely a good spot. And this craft fair, I definitely got a bad spot. So like it is set up in rows like this. So this is one row of booths of tents, and then this is another row. And this row faces the street, the highway, and the gas station. So this gets a lot of vision, right? Because you can see people are parking or getting gas, and they can see your stuff. And then the stuff back here is a little hidden, so you have to kind of walk around to it. But my spot was here. I was here, and over here on this side, this is where the convenience store is. So again, a lot of foot traffic. I was here. I was the absolute last one in this row. So as people were, exiting and from their cars to get gas or coming out of the convenience store, they would start walking along, and then they wouldn't want to get all the way to the end where I was because they would have to turn around and go this way to go to all the other ones back here. So they would just kind of meander, and then they would like be walking, and they would be like peek into mine, like, and then and then just walk away, So I think the best spot is in the middle section, because no matter if they're coming this way or this way, they're gonna walk through the middle, you know? And then maybe this spot right here where the convenience store is when they come out is also a really good one, because you're the first one they see. And then I'm all the way down here, all the way at the end of the road, and people, they don't want to go all the way down there, you know? But if you want to get those spots, I don't know how people get those spots. I think they come super freaking early, and I am not a morning person. Waking up early, waking up like before 8 makes me physically ill. I get so sick to my stomach and I hate it. And then I can't sleep the night before because I know I have my alarm about to go off. I'm like, don't miss the alarm. Make sure I wake up to the alarm. It's terrible. So getting up that early is really hard for me. And I would love if it was a little later, or you had your spot already. Like, that would be great. If you had your spot designated already and you just showed up however long it took you to set up and you just did it, that would be great. But no, you have to get there and fight for a spot. Because I would be able to like set up exactly when it started, and then also I would be able to do my makeup and wear cute clothes to like match my setup and everything. But you know, that's wishful thinking. But yeah, it is. I think it's a really good opportunity to go to this craft fair because it's free. Because I'm learning a lot of things. Every single time I go, I learn something new, and I do something different the next time. Yeah, and you know, time goes by really quickly. It's from 10 to 4, and it goes by really quick. And there's like a rush in like lunchtime. There's like a lunchtime rush, and then there's like there's a little bit of a rush in the morning, and then at lunch, and then towards the afternoon it's like a little more steady. So you know, just learning and meeting other artists is really cool, because they tell me where other craft fairs are, when they are, how to get into them. But my goal ideally would be to sell more online, because I could dedicate a lot more time on making more things, because doing craft fairs does take a bit of planning and setup, and also it is kind of tiring because it takes a weekday out, you know, so you have to go, you know, maybe take off some day during the week to recover. And it's usually the end of the week, it's on Saturday, so you're already like exhausted, and then you have to wake up and do this craft fair. But it's just stuff that I have to figure out. Some, you know, that's just personal, how you want to run your business. So hopefully in the future I can focus more on online, even though I said I know right now doing the monthly craft fairs is something I can wrap my head around. But now that I've done another one, I'm like, yeah, it would be nicer if I could just stay at home. Even though it's really good to go out as an introvert and talk to people and socialize and talk about your art, and which I do enjoy, and I think I really need it, but I'm a homebody and I would like to stay home. Anyways, thanks for coming along this journey of getting ready for the craft fair, attending one, and then showing you all the stuff that I've made. All this stuff is available online if you're curious to take a look. I hope you guys are well and you stay well, and let's just do our best in these times. And I will see you later. Bye.